Hey guys, it's Two Video Games or Adam, and welcome back to another one of my Fortnite's top 5 videos. And today I'm taking a look at 5 easy changes you can make here in Fortnite that will get you more wins. Now before we jump into today's video, I'll remind you guys of the giveaway I'll be doing over the month of June. To enter, it's so simple. All you have to do is drop a like on today's video, subscribe to the channel, and let me guys know right now in the comment section below what platform do you play Fortnite on. And of course, you guys can enter on every single Fortnite video that I post over the month of June, and I'll be giving away a total of 20,000 V-Bucks. I'll be picking all the winners at the end of the month. Now this kind of goes without saying, but today's video is geared towards people who are new at the game, struggling to get wins, or just struggling to win consistently here in Fortnite. For those of you who are winning all the time, you guys probably know every single tip and trick. So in today's video, I want to go over 5 really easy changes you can make when playing Fortnite, and these things might seem really small or minor, but believe me, over time, these things really do help you out, and it will equal a lot more wins. So starting us off here in the number 5 spot, we're going to talk about one of the most basic things here in Fortnite, and that has to do with opening and closing doors. Yes, we're talking about doors. It doesn't seem like a big thing, but I notice a lot of people in-game don't like to close doors behind them, and this is so incredibly important. Now, towards the middle or end of the match, this does not matter at all because, you know, so many places have been looted, so it doesn't matter. But at the start of a match, this is when it is very important to always close a door behind you when you are looting a house, a building, or just going into rooms. Always having that door closed behind you will save you so many times. A great example of this is when you first start off the game and you land at a place like Pleasant Park or Retail Row or Creasy Grove, for just an example. Those areas have a lot of buildings or smaller buildings or a lot of houses. And when you first land, you want to loot as much as you can, and running into a house and leaving a door open is never a good idea. You're telling everybody that you are currently, or someone is currently in that house, and they can easily run in there and clean you up. Just doing something as simple as closing a door gives you an opportunity to prepare yourself, because if someone goes in and opens that door, that's kind of an alarm for you, hearing that door open, and then you can prepare yourself leaving that door wide open. Like, why would you? All you have to do is press one button as you walk into the building. So get in the habit of always closing doors behind you. It doesn't sound like much, but there are so many times where it can save you. So coming in at the number 4 spot on today's list, when we're talking about easy changes you can make in-game, I have to talk about settings, because settings is something that is so simple to do. All you have to do is jump into the menu, go into the settings, and play around with things like sensitivity and button layout, and it can make a huge difference. It's so common for us to jump onto a new game and not really mess with settings, right? Jumping in to a game like Call of Duty and having that default button layout and the default sensitivity is something I used to do all the time. And then one day I decided to go in and change settings. And you know what? I did the exact same thing with Fortnite. When I first started playing Fortnite, I had the default settings. I did play around with my sensitivity a little bit, but not too much. But it wasn't until, you know, a couple of months after the game came out where I really started playing around with things like sensitivity and my button layout, finding the one that's perfect for me. If you're somebody who has played Fortnite on the default settings, you are missing a huge opportunity to excel with different settings, because not everybody is great with, you know, certain sensitivities or certain settings, right? People play differently and people are better at different things. So you might as well jump in there and play around with your settings and find what works for you. You might be somebody who is really good at low sensitivity, or you might be somebody who has, you know, great reaction time and high sensitivity is great for you, or settings might be better for you that other people it's not so good for. So it's great to jump in there, play around with things, and find the perfect fit for you so you can play a lot better. So coming in at the number 3 spot on today's list, I have have to touch on looting, because looting here in Fortnite is so important and it can really mess you up sometimes. And this one little trick, I've talked about it before on my channel, but a long time ago when Fortnite first came out, and since then a ton of stuff has been added into the game, and this trick is even more important now, and that has to do with looting things like mini shields and bandages, right? There are so many times, especially at the end of a match, when we want to top up our mini shields or our bandage slots so we have the most shield and health as we possibly can carry. And for example, let's just say, I have 6 mini shields and I want to go loot somebody else I just killed, and I noticed that they had mini shields as well, and I go to loot them and they might have had like 10 of mini shields, and it will fill up the one slot I have, it'll give me 4 more, and then we'll throw out the gun that I currently have. And sometimes that can be really annoying, especially when you're in a rush, or if you're in the storm or the storm's behind you and you want to loot fast. It's annoying having your gun thrown out. If you do something as simple as take out your pickaxe whenever you loot things, like honestly anything, but especially mini shields and bandages, you will only pick up enough mini shields or bandages to fill up that one slot, and it will throw out the rest. And this is so small, it's so simple, but sometimes it can be so clutch. So coming in at the number 2 spot on today's list, it's time to touch on materials. And we all know how important materials are here in Fortnite, and the more materials you can have, especially early in the game, it can really save you a ton of times. We've all had those frustrating deaths where we might have really good loot, have a gold scar and a whole bunch of shield, and we died because we didn't have materials, we couldn't build, we couldn't protect ourselves. It happens all the time, and looting alone at the start of a match won't really give you all that much materials. From chests, maybe, but you'll have to go through a lot of chests to just get like 100 wood or 100 brick. So one of the best things to do at the start of a match to get material is when you enter a house or a building is to simply take out your pickaxe and start breaking down furniture inside of that house, because there's usually tons of furniture and it's all just a one swing with your pickaxe. It instantly breaks, and it doesn't give you a ton per chair or per dresser or whatever furniture is in the house, but if you go through and just break everything, you'll actually find you'll get a ton of material that will really help you out in the early stage of that match. Now, of course, it really depends on where you land. If you land at a place like Wailing Woods or somewhere in the random corner of the map, then you might as well just go break down trees, because that's more efficient. But if you land at a place like Pleasant Park or Tilted Towers or Retail Row, somewhere that's usually busy, you can't really just land and then start breaking down trees, because you'll probably get shot and killed. So doing something as simple and as easy as breaking down all the furniture in the house, and then add that up with the material you get from looting and of course opening chests, all of a sudden you have a healthy amount of material to start off your match to get those early kills so you can survive wherever you landed. So coming in at the number 1 spot on today's list, I have a really interesting little trick that a lot of you might not be aware of. So there are so many times where we land at a place, for example, like Tilted Towers. This trick really works well at Tilted Towers, and we might have somebody above us, somebody below us in a building, and we don't really want to, just bash through the wall and give away our position. We kind of want to just sneak out of the house so we can kind of move on and go somewhere else. But sometimes you just can't, right? There's someone above you, you can't go up, someone below you can't go down. And one thing you always want to do is go through a window. But the thing is, it's like impossible to go through windows in Fortnite, right? You can't really jump at the right angle to actually get through a window. But one really cool thing you can do is you can drop down a roof piece right by the window, and that will actually allow you to just simply walk right through the window and drop out of the building. And this works by going into a building as well. You can drop a roof piece on the outside of a building, and you can walk through the window by having that roof piece there, and you can completely catch somebody off guard by going through a window instead of entering the building or breaking down walls like people normally would. And I know it sounds like such a small little minor thing, but it's actually so incredibly helpful. And The thing is, people don't expect this. That's the big thing. People don't expect you to actually go through windows. Now, shooting through windows is one thing, but actually walking through windows is a completely different thing. Now, the last thing is it depends on what windows are around you. If you have a window that has the cross in it, then of course you unfortunately can't do this trick with that window because that cross is stopping you. But if it's just a regular window and it's open, you can go ahead and drop down the roof piece and go through the window using this trick. And you'll see these windows a lot at places like tilted towers. That's why I mentioned in the first place. You can easily just walk right out of the window using this trick, and it's so helpful. So there you have it, guys. Those are 5 small, easy changes you can make here in Fortnite that will lead to more wins. And none of these are really crazy and big, but that's the whole point of the video. It's usually those small little changes that will actually lead to the result you want. In this case, more wins here in Fortnite. Besides that, guys, enjoy the video. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe for more Fortnite top 5s, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.